Each night, I sat alone on my small porch with a book. Occasionally, people would pass and I'd say hello. Rarely did they stop for an extended conversation, and never once was one of any substance. I'd have some luck reeling them in with gossip, but in this small town, even the scandal should be ashamed of itself. At 8:30 p.m., I'd go to bed with my book, the consummation of reading lust. I am the primary school teacher for rural Stramwell, Oregon. The town proper has a larger school, but I instruct in a 2-room schoolhouse outside city limits. It used to be a traditional 1-room schoolhouse, but a politician some years back ran on education reform for the poor and fulfilled his promise by building a 2nd room. The new room now houses old brooms. A broom salesman came to Stramwell shortly after the politician built the 2nd schoolroom. The salesman told his would-be clients that purchasing his broom would allow them to do a good deed, as they could donate their old broom to the rural school. The salesman did not inform customers that the rural school doesn't need 50 used brooms. I bought 2 brooms from him myself. If anyone should be donating an extra broom, it should be me. I received my first broom donation from Marjorie Plimpton, an agreeable gal with a crooked chin and significant hips. "The broom man said to give you my old broom," Marge said, poking her head into my classroom just before school started. "All the Civic Club ladies are buying them too. I bought one because of this new broom technology the salesman talked about. He's very becoming. He'll be coming down your side of Elm tomorrow." "How becoming?" I rolled my eyes. New broom technology. Marge cautiously leaned her worn broom inside the doorway. That was the same day I met Tobias Randall. It was October 30th, and an unusual time of year to receive a new student. Tobias had shown up with no paperwork other than a note from his father. "This is Tobias Randall. He is 15. It is his final year of school. Roy Randall, 32 Rochester Lane, Stramwell, Oregon." "That's the old Ellis farm," I said. "You must have just moved in. Where did you move from? Is your father a farmer? Can you read acceptably for the 9th grade?" "Idaho, yes and yes," he said, looking past me at the other children. "Where's your mother? Why didn't she write this note?" The boy's overalls were worn but not too dirty. His blonde hair looked freshly cut by an inexperienced hand. He was tall and slender, and I assumed his father to be the same.
"Is this your old farm?"
Yeah. All mine.
Well, come on. Where's your kitchen?
Oh, Molly.
I instructed him to sit down. Tobias said nothing for the rest of the day. When school let out, he tried to leave without the school books I had provided. "You'll need your books to study over the weekend," I said, catching him at the door. "Plenty of catching up to do. The others have been in attendance for well over a month now." "No," he said, and ran off in a sprint. The following day was a Saturday and unseasonably warm. In the morning, I was gardening in the front yard. I find gardening more accessible in a short skirt. The broom salesman appeared as I bent over the dahlias. "Excuse me, miss," he said, removing his hat. I turned to greet the unexpected visitor. Due to the heat, a freshly curled lock of hair cascaded across my partially unbuttoned shirt. "What's this I hear about new broom technology?" I said. "Oh, yes, this is the modern age of brooming," he said. "Why, a girl just can't keep up!" I laughed heartily. I invited the salesman inside where he could lay his display box on the table. He swung a broom like a samurai sword down with a smack. "I didn't mean to startle you, ma'am," he said, "only to prove the indestructibility of the new Oliver 4 model. Made in the largest factory in the world, designed by Mr. Oliver himself in Hartford, Connecticut. Why, I said, you could knock out a nutria with that swing. I'm sorry, ma'am. A nutria, surely you've... It's a large rodent with a hairless tail. I imitated buck teeth and clawed at his arm. Feisty as the dickens, too. I clawed once more. No, sorry, ma'am. I'm unfamiliar with that type of rodent. So the broom is quite strong. I grasped his bicep. Speaking of strong, wowie zowie. He pulled his arm away. Yes, ma'am, much like the Mark IV. Let me explain its patented new sweeping technology. I put my hand on his forearm. Perhaps you could explain it to me on the couch? I'm dying to put my feet up. Ma'am, I think I should be going. I just remembered I have another appointment, but I'd be happy to stop back by another time. Perhaps I could do a group presentation if you have any friends. He made it to the porch, where I pulled a trick I'd seen in a film and pinched his backside. He halted and dropped his head. 2 brooms, he said. I beg your pardon? 2 brooms and I'll sit on the couch. I squinted. How dare you presuppose a lady would... 2 brooms, ma'am, he turned. I've got a busy schedule. 1 broom, I said. 2. I slapped him then and there. At noon, I visited Mother at the Blue Valley Nursing Home. You married? Mother said. She was sitting in the corner of her tiny upstairs room. No, Mother. I straightened her bed sheets and dusted pictures of Dad, along with her collection of glass chicken candy bowls. Careful of those chickens now. The last maid broke one. I never broke a chicken. Well, chickens don't just break. It must have been one of your other maids. She rolled her eyes. I can't imagine why you're not married.